Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome in to Tuesday Job Talks on a Wednesday. Give me just a second here to get us live in all of our places. Make sure we're good. Oh, I see us on Facebook. And let me check elsewhere and make sure we're good. All right. Looks like things are actually working today, which is always nice. Looks like we're live on YouTube. Okay, great. Awesome. So hello, everybody. I am Katie Castillo, the community expert at VertForce. And you are here for what is normally Tuesday Job Talk, but we're doing it on a Wednesday today. So I appreciate your flexibility on being here with me. And I'm excited to have you here. Let me know where you're joining from. And I'll get going here. So first and foremost, Tuesday Job Talk is where we share jobs. Open jobs, what we've got going on, as well as we share employer events, educational events, and we answer your questions. So if you have any questions related to job searches or anything that we do, let me know. And we are here to help you and answer those questions live. So if you've got questions, you can add them in the chat. I'm going to pull up the Facebook chat on my phone because for some reason it never shows me on my desktop browser while I am live. I don't know why. But if you have questions, drop those in the chat and I will be checking our chat so that I can answer those for you, okay? And we will get going here. So, hello, Amy from San Antonio. I am in Washington, Washington State, and it is actually rainy for once this summer, and so the light is really dark. Oh, actually, there we go. Look at that. You can see me better now. I forgot to turn that on because it was just a little bit too bright earlier, but now you can see me much better. The power of having extra light sources, huh? Especially in Washington where we need them. So let's get going, guys, and we're going to talk about jobs. So let me get the job arsenal up there for you. So you have the link and the QR code. So if you are looking for remote jobs, this is a great place to start. So we have our own job board of vetted legitimate jobs with military-friendly employers. They are pretty much, we search for location flexible positions. Most of those mean remote or hybrid roles. Occasionally we do get some site location specific roles. But for the most part, we try to get remote ones for you or ones that you could move with you when you PCS. So on the job board, you're going to see first, you have to log in. I try to remember to say this every time. Make sure you log in because if you don't log in, you will not be able to see all of the job opportunities. It is a private job board. Our resources and our job board, everything is free for you, but it is a private job board. So you do have to make an account to see all of the jobs and to apply. So make sure you make an account. And I talked about this a few weeks ago, but it's worth mentioning again. Make sure that when you do, whether you already have an account or you're making a new one, make sure that you go in the right-hand corner, click the little bubble, the red, it's a white bubble with red writing and it has your name on it once you make an account. Update your information. So if you have licenses or certifications or specific skills or roles that you're looking for, make sure you update that in your profile. It makes a big difference. It helps us know how to target sending you emails, how to send you job alerts, and it helps us connect you to better jobs. So, or more, what's the word I'm looking for here, guys? More jobs that are suitable to you and your specific things that you're looking for, okay? So you can find our jobs, our job arsenal at jobs.vertforce.us. You can see that URL right there, jobs.vertforce.us. If you're not watching on your phone and you have the ability to scan, you can scan the QR code right there. It'll take you straight to the job board. On our job board, you will see, obviously, jobs, right? You can filter those from a variety of ways, what you're looking for. If you're looking for part-time or you really only want full-time, 1099, W-2, whatever it is that you're looking for, you can filter if you want to. I highly recommend not filtering unless you're like really, really specific, just so you can get the full picture of what's available on the job board. And you never know, something might suit you in the job description that you didn't realize just because you filtered it out. So always that's usually how I do it. And that's how I did it when I was looking for jobs and how I found this one. So you can filter it though. Like I said, if you want, we try to put all the information there for you, what kind of role it is, so you know what you're getting into. As well as jobs, obviously, that we have on the job board. At the top, you'll also see like a job. There's a little bubble at the little navigation bar there. It has jobs, learning, events, and podcasts. Highly recommend checking out those to help with your job search and for resources and education and things like that. So on our learning tab, you'll see things for interviews. You'll see things for LinkedIn. You'll see things for resumes. We also have a lot of podcasts linked there to help you with your resume and all the job search tips that you need. Events, you'll see an events tab there. It'll have all of the upcoming events that we've got going on. And then you'll also see a tab for podcasts. Like I said, we've got a ton of resources for you, and those are great places to check on those resources and learn more. So that was just a quick little walkthrough of the job board. For anybody who's just joined, I just saw a couple people pop in here. So if you, oh, look, hi everybody. I see Elise and Sahar. Hi, Arizona and Fort Stewart. A couple of you joining from a couple other places as well. So hello. Just a quick reminder, Job Arsenal, you can scan the QR code there, and it's at jobs.vertforce.us. So let's talk about the jobs on the job board right now. So we have a few annual partners that you're going to find on the job board pretty much all the time, which is really great. So we've got CVS on there. This is a new role up there. We are looking for a specialty pharmacy technician. It is an on-site role in Honolulu, Hawaii. So if you are one of our Hawaii community members, go check it out if you're a pharmacy tech. It is on site, but it is weekdays only. There's no weekends. It's W-2, 401k, PTO, the whole thing, good benefits. And it's with CVS Health. So the nice part about them is that they pretty much are located everywhere in the US, right? So great portable opportunities there with CVS. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll also see CVS links to different career areas. So there's NPPA roles, as well as clinical careers. You'll also see ones for customer care roles, innovation tech roles, pharmacy roles, corporate roles, warehouse roles, and in-store roles. So we have links to all of those to take you to the CVS website, so you can see what other roles are available. Obviously, we have some specific ones on there, like the on-site pharmacy tech role, but they are a partner of ours. So if you click on them, make sure you mark on the job search or on the where you found them, make sure you mark that you're a VertForce candidate. It will let them know that you're coming from us, which is a great thing to do. And on the job descriptions on our job board, there is a link at the very last line of all of the job descriptions with CVS. There is an advocacy form that you can fill out once you do apply. So we highly recommend doing that. Let us know that you applied so we can advocate for you. If you are interested in CVS, I can't say much, but let's just say we've got some very exciting stuff coming down the pipeline, and you should hear more about that in the coming weeks. I really want to tell you everything about it, but you're going to have to wait just a little bit for us to finalize some details and get that. But just know we've got some very exciting things coming with CVS this year. We're really excited about that. So next up, you'll see Imagine 360. We have a multi-position link on Imagine 360. Imagine 360 is a remote healthcare company, so their positions are remote. You can pretty much find them everywhere. They hire in every U.S. state, so even if you're technically Oconus in Hawaii or Alaska, they are hiring there. Check them out. They're an awesome company. And I'm going to put this up. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit here. If you are interested in learning more about Imagine 360, we are having an event with them on September 18th, and you can get more information and register for that event by scanning this QR code. Give me just 1 second here, and I will get that. I'll drop that in the comments for you guys too, so that I know some of you are not you're watching from your phone, which makes the most sense, right? So I'm going to drop that Imagine 360 link for you. We are having that event with them on September 18th at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. It's a great opportunity to meet with Imagine 360, you'll get a chance to hear from their hiring and recruitment teams. You'll get to hear about the different departments at Imagine 360. You'll also get to hear some military spouse success stories. We've got 2 really incredible military spouses coming to talk to us who work. They are VertForce community members who are coming to talk to us about their experience with Imagine 360 and how they got hired. So that's going to be great. And you'll get to hear about open available roles and what they're looking for on resumes and applications. So these employer events, we have them fairly frequently. They're awesome. It's a great chance to get to know the employer that you're potentially going to go work for, learn more about them, hear about the culture, hear about benefits, all of that sort of stuff. And to really kind of, it's a great way to check the vibe at a place that you might be working, right? And see if it might be a fit for you. So this is a great chance. That is going to be, like I said, on September 18th. And you can find all of their roles on our job board right now. If it's the Imagine 360, it says multiple positions available. If you click that link, it'll take you to the job description and you can head over to the Imagine 360 job board and peruse all of their available jobs. Like I said, they're a remote first company. So most, if not all of their positions are remote, which is fantastic. And yes, they are a healthcare company, but they do hire for non-healthcare, non-clinical roles as well, which is pretty fantastic. We've got a couple people asking. Sahara's wondering, where will the event be located? So the event, that's a great question, actually. So it's a virtual event. We will be holding that event on Zoom. So once that link that I shared, once you put your email into there and RSVP and save your spot for the event, you will get follow-up emails that have links to the Zoom, reminders, calendar invites, things like that. But the event will be held on Zoom on September 18th at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And they're usually about an hour long, give or take, depending on questions and things like that. You can come for part of it, all of it. And if you can't make it, I still recommend that you go to the website and the link that I put and RSVP, because when you RSVP, you will be guaranteed to get the recap with the recording after the event. So it will be virtual. All of our events, unless we pretty much state otherwise, are virtual events. So sometimes they're live streams, but like this one. But most of our Coffee and Connects are on Zoom. So like I said, once you register for that event, you will get the Zoom link for September 18th. All right. Oh, and fun thing, I might as well mention, yes, it's a great event also because you get to meet the employers and things like that, but we are giving away $500 worth of Starbucks gift cards. So 100 live attendees will get a $5 Starbucks gift card, which is also really fun. Okay, I'll put the job arsenal back up there for you guys. And I'll keep going. All right. So that was Imagine 360. We also, similar thing with Travelers Insurance. There is a multiple positions available link there for Travelers Insurance. Check them out. They are a great company too. Obviously, we're not going to put companies on the job board that don't really align. We have standards, right? So all the companies around there are fantastic. Travelers is a great one. They have hired an insane amount of military spouses, especially since we started working with them about 5-6 years ago. They're great. The benefits with Travelers are unbelievable. Kimber always calls them the GOAT for benefits, and there's a reason for it. So check them out. The nice part about Travelers, once you click that link, it will mark you automatically as a VertForce candidate when you head over to Travelers. One thing to note about Travelers, not all of their positions are remote. They have made many of their positions remote for active duty military spouses, but make sure you're checking and reading the job descriptions just to make sure that it is an opportunity for you if you are looking for remote. But they do have hybrid and in-person positions as well. So they're awesome. And they do hire in all 50 states, which now that I'm thinking about it, I think every single job on our job board right now is hiring in all 50 states, except for, I guess, the Hawaiian pharmacy role. But otherwise, they all hire in all 50 states, which is great. And so something I wanted to mention about the job board, our jobs update frequently on this job board. So several times in the last month, we will get a role on Wednesday and it will be gone before I do the next Tuesday job talks. So make sure that you sign up for the job board because you will get emails. You can also check out our Facebook, our private VertForce Facebook group. Yes, I have that. So if you scan this, it'll take you there. If you are watching from your phone, just search for VertForce. We have a business page, but we do have a private group. Answer the membership questions. That way we can admit you. We do have to have you do that. 1 second, sorry. Every time we get a new role, we send out an email and we also post about it in our VertForce Facebook group. Usually it's Felicia, our talent director, who posts about it in the VertForce group. But make sure you're checking, because if you want to hear about the role first, that's a great way to do it. So highly recommend doing that. But like I said, the jobs on the job board update frequently, So make sure that you're checking if you want to apply for anything or you're looking for something specific. Make sure you're keeping an eye on it. I know that you may not want to open the website every day. It's a great opportunity if you can, but sign up for emails. And when you make an account, you can sign up for emails that way and check the Facebook group. That is how I found my job. So I tell you that that's the best way to do it. So check that out. And then now I'm going to talk about events. So I did talk a little bit about the Imagine 360 event, but I'm also going to talk about Home Buying 101. So I'm going to put, where's that? Okay, there it goes. Home Buying 101. We are hosting an event, a live event on Zoom on August 26th with experts to talk to you about Home Buying 101. All the things from start to finish. We're going to go over a roadmap. Kimber and our guest expert, Marty Medvey, the #1 VA loan officer in the nation, is going to be our guest expert this time with Kimber. And they are going to give you a roadmap to take you from the very beginning steps, just curious, kind of looking at homes, just very, very beginning, all the way through closing. All the steps in between. They're going to answer all of your questions, anything that you have about home buying, about the VA loan, whatever it is, they're going to answer those questions for you. And we're going to talk about, common myths, misconceptions, and also a lot of like home buying mistakes that military families have made and how you can avoid them, and things that we wish we had known sooner in all of our home buying journeys. So it's going to be an awesome event. It's put on by the military MLS. It's going to be fantastic. Like I said, it's on August 26th at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time, and it will be on Zoom. So make sure that here, I can drop the link. I just realized I haven't done that yet. I'll drop you guys the link so you have it, in case you can't scan. These events are fantastic. They're a great way to learn more, to get your questions answered. And you also will get the chance to receive a Starbucks gift card, and they will also be giving away Stanley tumblers to those who attend strategy calls. So extra additional bonuses there. I can tell you that this is the first time we've done a Homebuyer 101. This is the first ever brand new class. We've had several VA classes in the past, and as the event planner, I did attend those, but I learned so much each time, and I am really looking forward to this one. It's, like I said, a brand new class. It's going to be awesome. Marty is a wealth of information, and it's going to be excellent. Plus, I don't even win Starbucks, and I love going, so that should tell you that you should go, because not only are you going to learn a lot, and it's going to be great, you're going to get your questions answered, but you also can win some Starbucks, which is fantastic too. So I'm also going to put up the Imagine 360 event again, just a reminder. Imagine 360 event is on September 18th at 12:30 p.m. Eastern on Zoom. For all of the events, if you register, you will get reminders and a Zoom link, a calendar invite, and you will also receive the recording after the event, which is awesome. So I hope to see you guys at both of those, because they're going to be excellent. They're going to be a lot of fun. It's a great way to learn more. And so I hope you guys will be there. And like I said, we do have some very exciting things coming down the pipeline with CVS. So stay tuned for that. I'm hoping in the next 2 weeks or so, I'll be able to get you guys some more information about that. And just a quick reminder that if you have any questions, feel free to drop those in the chat. I'd love to hear from you. It's a great chance to ask your questions live and get them answered if you have any questions, okay? And now we're going to talk about applications and what to do if you're not hearing back when you're applying for jobs. I'm going to drink some water, sorry. Or tea. I guess it's not just water. All right, so I wanted to talk about what to do if you're not hearing back when you're applying. We know that happens. It happens to everybody, right? So part of it now, right, is that there's, especially for remote jobs, there are hundreds of applicants for remote jobs, whether they're qualified or not, right? People are just applying like crazy. So sometimes the sheer numbers can get in the way. But there's a few things to think about if you're not hearing back, you're not getting interviews, you're just not hearing back, right? And obviously in a positive way would be ideal. So I want to say, like, all of this is said with a lot of love. But I want you to be honest with yourself, right? And so I know that that can be hard, especially for feeling frustrated in the job search. I have been there applying for dozens and dozens of jobs and just not getting anywhere. I've been there and I know it's frustrating, but I want you to be honest with yourself, right? So first, reevaluate the positions that you're applying for. Are they jobs you're actually interested in? Or are they jobs that you're just like, it's close enough, I can just apply, right? Are you actually interested in working that job? Or are you actually interested in working at that company? Like, does the company align with what you're looking for and the type of company that you want to work for? Because if you're not actually interested in it, or the company doesn't actually align with what you're looking for, you might not be hearing back because of that. It's going to translate into the way that you're applying, right? And the type of application that you're submitting. And you also need to be paying attention to, do you actually meet like 80% of the top requirements that they're asking? And like, be honest with yourself, right? I know that that's hard to say, I don't actually want this job. I would like a job, and I'll just, you're just like, I'll just apply to this one. It's close enough and it's a job, right? At least it would be something. But if you're not actually interested in working at that company or that job, don't waste your time applying for it. It's going to translate in your resume. They might be picking up on it. So make sure that you are actually applying for jobs that you want to work with, companies you want to work for, and that you actually meet the requirements for. You don't have to meet 100% of the requirements, right? A lot of them are more of a wish list, right? They'd prefer you to have these things, so you don't have to meet 100%, but 75, 80% of the requirements, like, if you don't meet most of the things they're asking for, then you're not qualified for that role. So it's not worth your time to apply, right? So reevaluate the positions you're applying for. And now after that, then you got to reevaluate how you're actually applying. Are you targeting your resume and cover letter? And I know, everybody will tell me, yes, I target my resume and my cover letter every time. But I want you to be honest with yourself and say, am I actually spending the time and putting my full effort into targeting my resume and my cover letter for this specific job, for this specific company? And if the answer is no, not really, then reevaluate that. And that's why applying to jobs that you actually want to work for and companies you want to work for is key too, because then you're not spending your time, your valuable time, targeting and tailoring a resume for a job you don't actually want to work. So target your resume, target your cover letter. Every single job you apply for, you really need to be targeting it. And I mean like full effort targeting your resume. Okay. We have resources on that. You can find those in our Facebook group is a great place for that, as well as our YouTube and the learning tab on our job board. Okay. If you don't know how to target or tailor your resume, we can do that. But put your whole effort into targeting, right? Take the time, because it will pay off. Because you need to make sure that, like, ask yourself, like, are you using keywords and like highlighting the experience that they've asked for? If they're at like top 3 things on their list are XYZ, you need to highlight that, right? You need to say, I have worked XYZ. I have this experience, and you need to highlight that, and you need to do it using the keywords that they've used in the job description, right? To really highlight, hey, I am the person for this job and I have the experience that you're looking for this job. Okay. So that's what targeting is all about. So you got to make sure that you're not only targeting it, but using those keywords that are in the job description and really highlighting and focusing their attention on the experience that you have, that they have asked for. Okay. So make sure you're doing that. And not only is that really important, but if a real person, a recruiter, is reviewing that stuff, that's what they're going to look for, right? They're going to get your resume. They're going to do a quick scan. Well, we have to have somebody who has 3 years of this experience. So they're going to look for that right away. Or they're looking for somebody who has whatever experience using this tool, right? Or this platform. And if they can't see that right away, they're just going to move on to the next one, right? So that's why targeting is so important, because if you don't target, somebody else will. So make sure that you are the person who is targeting your resume, okay? And here, hold on, let's see, we've got somebody says, okay, sometimes when they see from your resume that you haven't worked for the past 2 years, they pick those who are current in experience. That's true. Sometimes that's true, right? They're looking for somebody with current experience. But the thing to remember too is, like, just because you weren't working a paid job, I'm sure you did other stuff too, right? I'm sure that the majority of you were not just, you weren't just sitting on a chair all day, right? You were doing things. Many of us, especially military spouses, right, and veterans, have volunteer experience. We have worked in, we might not have gotten paid for a lot of it, but we do have experience in other things. So make sure that you're highlighting those experiences that they've asked for that translate to the job that you're applying for. And remember, I will say a lot of companies now are way more understanding of career gaps, like resume gaps and career pivots, right? They get it. That used to be something that was like out of the norm. It made us military spouses stand out like a sore thumb, but now it's not as big of a deal. So don't feel too concerned about that. Okay. Like, just the biggest thing is highlighting what experience you have that fits the job description you're applying for. And one of the reasons that I want to make sure that I mention this with keywords is that, yes, obviously, if it's a recruiter looking at it, they're going to be looking for keywords. They're going to be looking for, if they've asked you to have experience with Adobe and Canva and HubSpot for just whatever, right? Those 3 things, if you haven't highlighted those 3 things, they're going to skip your resume. So make sure you're doing that. Also, because if they're using AI or an ATS system to review resumes, that if those keywords aren't in there, when they put the job description in to AI or ATS and your resume doesn't have those, it's going to kick you out and automatically disqualify you, because it's not reading that you have the experience and the requirements that they've asked for. So make sure you're reading the job description. That's why it's so important to use those keywords and to highlight the experience that they've asked for that translates to the job that you have and that you're applying for, right? So that's why it's important. Otherwise, you'll be, even if you have it and you just haven't used the keywords, or it's not going to flag that you have the experience that they're looking for. So let's see. Kimmy is asking, do we have a video example that breaks down keywords in the job description? And Kimmy, yes, we do. So on the job board, back up. So on jobs.vertforce.us, if you go to learning, we have a resume boot camp, and it is a whole course, and maybe you don't need the whole course, but you can flip through and find the sections on tailoring and targeting. I also recommend, if you head to our Instagram, which is just, we're VertForce on Instagram. If you find us on Instagram, we have highlights with Kimber walks through, like, hey, I had this position and now I'm applying for this position. This is the job description. Let me pull out the keywords. And so we have a whole video of that and have examples on the Instagram, as well as Resume Bootcamp for that. There are lots of other free resources too for resume help. Hiring Our Heroes is one. USO has them, MySeco. So check them out if you're needing additional resources. If you're applying to a job on our job board, and once you have tailored your resume, if you want to get some feedback on it, you can always ask us, and we can help you with that as well, if it's a job on our job board. But yes, Kimmy, check out our Instagram, check out YouTube and the learning tab on our job arsenal. You can search, oh, here, look. That's our YouTube. Since you're watching from Facebook, that's our YouTube channel. There are like hundreds of videos and resources for you on all of that sort of stuff. So make sure you are targeting your resume. One other thing I want to mention about AI, ATS, if you're not hearing back, make sure that your resume format is not overly fancy, overly formatted. So not everybody uses an ATS system or AI. We do not, CVS does not, right? There's lots of companies that don't use an ATS system. But if you are applying somewhere and they do, and your resume is really formatted, sometimes the ATS system cannot pick up on your words or figure out what is on your resume, and that will disqualify you. So make sure, while some of them are really pretty, like I know that I have used a Canva template before, and they look really nice. Sometimes they're overly formatted, and then they can't be read. So make sure you're checking that. That is important. And then I also wanted to ask, when did you apply? So pay attention to when the job is posted. So many companies, like I mentioned right now, they are receiving hundreds, if not thousands of applications per role that they open, because they're getting people that don't qualify, right? Like it's like they just see a job and they apply. They just send their resume. So they are getting so many applications. And that doesn't mean you're not going to get seen, but it is important to look at like, hey, every job I've applied for in the last 2 weeks has been posted for 20 days. So you're definitely going to be higher on there, or I don't know how you want to say this. You're going to be potentially the 400th applicant, right? So it's really important, if possible, to be one of the first people who applies to a job. You're just, by sheer numbers, you're going to be more likely to get seen, right? So that's why setting up job alerts is so important, especially for bigger companies. If you can have like CVS, Travelers, Imagine 360, all of them, if you can have job alerts set up so that when a new job alert comes through, you can get it first. If you can be one of the first 10% of the applicants, you're much more likely to get seen than if you were the, 99th percent of applicants who applied. Just on a sheer numbers game, right? You're just more likely. That is not to say that if you find the perfect job and it was posted 15 days ago, don't apply. That's not what I'm saying. Definitely apply. If it's the job you want at a company you want and you have the experience, tailor your resume, do all the stuff and apply. But just know that if every single job you've applied for has been posted for 30 days before you apply, that could be part of what's happening. Recruiters a lot of times now just don't have the ability to get through 700 applications, right? So just think about that. Just pay attention to it. It doesn't necessarily mean don't apply or only apply to these ones, but just be paying attention to that, because that can make a big difference. So if there's a company that you really want to work for, turn on job alerts on their career sites. That is a great way to get email notifications as soon as they have a new job, and make sure that you are one of the first ones to apply. So I know that it's hard. I just want to kind of wrap this up. So if you have questions, now's a good time to drop them in the comments, because we're going to be finishing up here very soon. But I just want to say, I know that it can be frustrating. I know that if you're applying to jobs and you're applying and you're not hearing back, I know how frustrating and draining that is. I do. From personal experience, I have been there and it is hard. And I know that. So all of it to say, take your time, stay persistent, believe in yourself, and then also take care of yourself. So take a break. If you're feeling really frustrated, take a break. Don't spend 50 hours a week applying for jobs. You're going to burn out, and you're going to burn out fast. So take your time, find the jobs that you actually want to work for at companies you want to work for, and then spend the time targeting your resume and cover letter to those specific jobs, so that you're not wasting your time applying to jobs that you don't actually want or don't actually qualify for. That will also help. So, that pretty much wraps us up for another Tuesday Job Talk on Wednesday. So thank you guys for your patience on swapping days here. We'll be back on Tuesday next week at our normal time on Tuesday at noon. So stay tuned, and I will see you guys then. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week. If you have questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. I usually try to go back and check and see if anybody had any questions or needed any help. And I will see you guys